Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. After a 2-week hiatus, top 10s are back on Tuesdays. I knew the last 2 weeks I had two different videos, but they're back. Today, I had to go a long way to find a poll from the last one, but it was my personal top 10 drivers throughout Nascar history today. These are drivers I followed or just like through the years, and stuff. They can be current drivers or legends of the past. So I hope you guys like this video. Before get into it, these are four drivers I just didn't put in just because it was hard to make this list already. So um, the first honor mention is Matt Kenseth. Been I always liked Matt Kenseth when he was in the Cup. I'm glad he's finally retired now. He should have retired when he did in 2017. But Matt Kenseth's the first honorable mention. Another one is Bill Elliott and Chase Elliott, or the other two. Chase is a great up and comer driver. Just gonna put him on this list. Um, but I still like him. And Bill Elliott, one of the legends of the sport. Always been a fan of Bill. And DW is at number, not number. DW is the other honorable mention. I like those drivers. They just didn't make it to the list. So at number 10, the youngest driver and only one of like two drivers still racing on this list. Number 10 is Kyle Larson. Um, Larson's on his list mainly because after Junior retired, he's the one to follow the longest. I like Blaney, but he didn't make this list because I really started following Blaney a year after I started following Larson. But I'm not gonna go name the stuff he did last year. I still like Larson, even all that stuff that went on. I'm not gonna get to that, but I still like him. I think he has a great future in the sport. He's with Hendrick now, better equipment. I think he has a good future ahead of him. Um, some of his stats are his 6 wins through his career so far, 8 poles and 102 top tens. This is just his Cup Series. I'm not gonna go into Xfinity and trucks and all that, just because it makes this list a little too long. But yeah, Larson, I just think he's a could be one of the future greats. I think him and Elliott are the best two at Hendrick, like Jimmy and Jeff Gordon were. So excited to see where this guy continues on, and yeah, he's my number 10 spot. And number 9 is the driver. I think some of you are going to be surprised is on my list. Number 9 is Kevin Harvick. And the reason I picked him is because he's the most talented elder driver, I think, in the field right now. Harvick is just an incredible driver. Um, I was going to put Kyle Busch number in this list, but I chose Kevin Harvick over him just because I think Harvick's been longer in the sport. He took over the 29. He took over that 3 car, became the 29 in 2000, won the Atlanta win. He's just an incredible career driver right now, and he's still in his prime, even at his age, which is just crazy. His stats are 58 wins, 390 top tens, and 31 poles. And it's crazy that he's 45 years old. He's just still this good even at this age. It's just incredible. He won 9 races last year, which is just amazing. I liked him in RCR equipment, and I do like him in Stuart Haas equipment. He's just an incredible driver, and that's why he's on this list. I've always had respect for him. I've always loved his schemes too. So Harvick's at number 9. Number 8, we're going a little old school here. Is Rusty Wallace, one of my favorite drivers from the '80s. I've always been a fan of Rusty. Um, I think he retired a little too early. I think he could have lasted another few years, and he even said he regrets retiring so early. But um, it's just incredible. And before I go a little bit farther, him and Harvick did get one championship. I'm gonna say that, but back to Rusty. Yeah, Rusty Wallace. He's a I was like he's a pretty good driver. He's only had one championship in '89. Other than that, not too much. Uh, he has 55 wins, 349 top tens, and 36 poles. He was a pretty competitive driver. I always scrap with Earnhardt now and again, Mark Martin back in the day, but still always been. I've always liked Rusty Wallace, one of my favorite drivers growing up. So Rusty's at number 9. At number 7, one of my personal favorite drivers growing up, and one of my big three following when I was younger, is Tony Stewart. I love Stewart so much. I love his character. It was sad seeing him retire in 2016, but um, he just had a lot of other stuff to do, and he was in his 40s, so it wasn't really surprising. He won 3 championships in 2002. I remember the one in 2005 and the one in 2011. But it was awesome championship seasons for him, and he had 49 wins, 308 top tens, and 15 poles. Soares is an incredible driver. My personal favorite one of his is when he got his first um, um, being from Brickyard 400 back in 2005 is one of my favorite races that he won. He's just an incredible driver. I love his aggression. And like how he always had kind of an attitude, but that's just part of his character. I've always loved that about Stewart, and that's why he's at number 7. At number 6, it's the old timer himself, Mark Martin. Um, I've always liked Mark Martin. Um, he never got a championship, but he did get 40 wins and 453 top tens and 56 poles, which is incredible. And he's been runner-up for the championship about 5 times, which is just incredible, including 2009 when he was 50. It's just crazy how much um, Mark Martin has done for his career. And he's just an incredible driver. And just he had to be on my list because I've always liked Mark Martin. So Mark Martin's at number 6 of my top 10. Number 5 is some people might not like him this low, but I happen on this low just because I like him, and there's not as much as the 4 drivers above him. That's Richard Petty. I love Richard Petty. 7-time champ, 200 wins. He's the king for a reason. I mean, he's a legend, and he's one of my all-time favorites. I've always liked Richard. He's just not one of the ones that always I just knew he was always a legend and stuff. I just never got into Richard. I'm just when he retired right before a long time before I got into NASCAR, but he was a great legend and best at his time and his generation easily. Richard Petty is just was an incredible driver and um, great legacy for the sport. I love Richard. He's just a legend and he's an incredible guy. That's why he's at number 5. At number 4, it's good old JJ, Jimmy Johnson. He just retired. When I was younger, I didn't like him that much because he won 5 championships in a row, but now I have so much respect for this guy. 7 championships, 83 wins, 36 poles. He was just an incredible driver, easily the best driver of this generation of the this previous generation of drivers that's now finally retiring. But Jimmy Johnson is going to be missing the sport. He's just an icon, the, one of the 3 legends of the sport. I love Jimmy Johnson. Um, I had a little teary-eyed in his last race, but he's going to be in the car this year, and I can't wait to see can't wait to see how he does this year. He's just an incredible driver, and I'll always be rooting for Jimmy in the IndyCar. So that's why Jimmy Johnson's at number 4. And number 3 is Jeff Gordon. Now Jeff Gordon, I was a Jeff Gordon fan for a month before I became a Joe Jr. fan in 2004. So Jeff Gordon was the reason I got into the sport. But I've always loved Jeff Gordon for a lot of reasons. He is one of the legends of the sport and one of the important drivers in my life. I never got into Jeff Gordon. I would never really gotten into NASCAR, and it makes me just so happy to say that Jeff Gordon is just an incredible driver. Um, 93 wins, 81 poles, 4 championships. He's just an incredible driver. And since I see him in the booth, he's just I've always liked him. He's always been one of the drivers I always followed. He's one of the big three for me when I was growing up. 20 Sword Jeff, and then next one's coming up. But yeah, Jeff Gordon always going to be one of my favorite drivers. His top three is never going to get top, but I always like Jeff Gordon. That's always number three. Number two, my favorite driver, still Dale Jr. I've always been going to be a Junior fan. Um, got 2 Daytona 500. Never won a championship. He got 2 Daytona 500, 26 wins, 15 poles, 260 top tens. He's just an incredible driver. Great personality. Still does stuff for the sport. Class of 2021 for the Hall of Fame. Dale Jr. is just an incredible guy. He was a pretty good driver in his day too, and it was so sad seeing him retire in 2017. But still, I'm so happy he's active with the sport, and I've always loved Dale Jr. He's just one of those drivers he's always been my favorite driver. So, well, him and then at number one, his dad Dale Sr. Number one and number two are pretty much like number one together, but Senior, things he done, his legacy for the sport and stuff, that's incredible. Um, 7-time championship, 76 wins, just an incredible driver and my personal favorite legend of all time. I love Richard Petty and I love Jamie, but Dale Earnhardt Sr. is like one of my favorite drivers of all time, and there's a reason why. And that's why he's our number one. Um, yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Next week will be another top 10 or versus, not versus, top 10 or ranking. So, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.